for a big portion of the day. And you're going to be talking a lot about Talkdesk, about call centers. So we don't have to go too much into that. But just for people who don't know, what is Talkdesk?
So Talkdesk is a company that allows other companies to create call centers really easily. So since 2011, we've been kind of disrupting the call center industry by making call centers really, really easy to set up.
Well, that's appropriate given that you actually launched at Disrupt in 2012, and now you're back as a judge. How does that feel?
It feels very good, especially because of all the atmosphere and the drive all these companies have. So it's very good to see the other side of the conference, and I hope a lot of good companies get out of this conference.
So given that you're at a startup yourself, you're at a relatively new startup, and you've kind of been through some of the struggle yourself. You're part of the European ecosystem. Do you think that's going to make you a nicer or a tougher judge?
I'm not sure. It's interesting because being European, I guess we take less risks. For example, in the US, it's very easy to find entrepreneurs that want to create the next big consumer product. And I feel that as Europeans, we are a bit more conservative, so we look for real businesses with real revenue. That sometimes makes me think a bit more about the business model and not the stage and the scale part.
But ideally, I mean, certainly Talkdesk, right, is a company that you would see as that is potentially both a big idea, but a company with a very clear business model as well. It's not necessarily one or the other, right?
Exactly. So even when we started, I remember we did an accelerator program, and European companies were really focused on enterprise or really strong business models. So that was a preposition from day one. So we wanted to create a product that companies would buy and give us money. Period.
That's a good business model. So you guys are based in Lisbon. Is there a thriving startup scene there?
Yes, and everyone is talking about that recently. We are both based in Lisbon and in San Francisco, and I guess we've been taking a big advantage of that. Since the beginning, I used to say we were born global. So we were able to keep the engineering team and some operational side in Lisbon while being in San Francisco and taking advantage of the network and all the relationships you can build in the valley. So I guess that has been a tremendous advantage for us. In terms of Lisbon, I mean, yes, awesome. We have good food, good wine, good weather, and then we used to be the entrepreneurs and the discovery guys, and after that we were just low profile, taking, because my parents' generation, they basically they went abroad in order to pursue a better life, and then they told us all you need to do is study, be a good student, take a job in the government, and you'll be done. But now there's no jobs in the government, and all the big corporations, they are going through very difficult times. So people are just being creative. We are trying to solve our own problems, and that drives a very nice entrepreneurial system. We have very good engineering talent, and because it was not obvious 5 years ago to go and create a startup in Lisbon, there's still a pool of talent available that we, the startups that are emerging there, can take advantage of.
Do you think you can start a company with global ambitions in Lisbon, or do you think they're more sort of European or focused?
We can start in Lisbon, but we cannot stay in Lisbon. And if you look at all the cool startups that exist right now in Lisbon, they are not Lisbon startups. They either have their headquarters here in the UK, or they have a strong presence in the US. So starting in Lisbon is fine, but not looking at the Portuguese market. That's not possible.
So last question, do you prefer Lisbon or San Francisco?
It depends. It's very, very different. I was born in Portugal, so of course Lisbon is my hometown. But San Francisco is amazing for the relationships, the tech scene, the how you can grow. So there's advantage in both.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks so much for the invite. It's amazing to be here.